All right, good morning. Welcome back to the shop. I went ahead and ordered some oil from Master Car. I ordered it on, I forget, Monday afternoon, and it showed up Tuesday afternoon, which is unreal. Anyway, we ordered some, the oil for the headstock, or the final oil for the headstock, I should say. I have 5 quarts of just 30 weight from Tractor Supply that I'm going to put in there first and get it running, or not running, but get it, hopefully get everything pumped through. And then I'm going to leave that in there probably for just a little while, drain it back out, and put this oil in there. I wasn't expecting to get it this quick. I just thought I'd start getting some stuff here that was relatively inexpensive. Went ahead and I did order the material for the jib crane, and then I forgot I have to reinforce the ceiling part. So that'll be a whole nother thing. I don't think I'm gonna film any of that because that's gonna be, you know, a fat man going in a little mouse hole, and I don't think anybody wants to watch that. So I'll explain what I did up there, but I'm probably not gonna film any of it. It's dark, it's cramped. I'm probably gonna be saying words I shouldn't be saying. So we're probably just gonna get that part done. But it just entails bracing up between 2 sets of trusses. So I wanna spread that load over, or it's not really a load, but spread that over 4 feet. So I'm gonna brace up 2 sets of trusses up in there. Anyway, and then we'll get the jib crane going. My brother just had shoulder surgery for his rotator cuff, and he's healing up. So when he's done with that, then we'll get this thing welded up. So I don't want to push him. You know, I've had back surgery. I know it takes time to heal up. So, you know, I just soon him heal up. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get this going. I read on Practical Machinists, these old lathes are, you know, sometimes they need a little help getting the pump going again. So I got my shop vac. What I'm going to do is take off this last fitting on the farthest part away and hook the shop vac over it while we're turning it. And hopefully it primes right up. So I went ahead and I took my little pick, and every little hole I could find in the pipe, I went ahead and picked it out. So I tried to get everything out of the bottom of the headstock as I could. I'm sure there's more stuff in there. That's what I'm fairly certain I'm going to drain it again. And then I'm going to probably install magnets on those plugs just so it can, you know, hopefully collect anything that falls in there. So we're going to do that too. What else are we going to do? Oh, I've got the sight glasses ordered. They haven't come in yet. Hopefully they'll be here today. If they're here, then, you know, we'll go ahead and record putting those in. But they're still made. I can't remember the name. Bijou Delamond, I think who it is. I just happened to see it on Keith Rucker's channel, and they're the same thing. So I ordered 2 of them. There's one here, and there's one in the apron. So the apron is going to take whey oil lubricant in it. I also read that on Practical Machinists. A lot of the people just switch over and use that in the apron, because the apron, as you crank the apron, it oils the ways. So we're going to use whey oil in that. So, but I thought I'd show how well this stuff is packed up. Of course, you have your materials list, and then the paper. Oh, each one of them's bagged up. So this is the 30 weight oil, the equivalent. Oh, it's taped too. There's no way this is going to leak unless somebody pokes a hole in it. This is multi-purpose machine oil 100. It's the SAE 30. So what is recommended for this in this climate? So if you run slower and stuff like that, most of the parts I need to run right now are pretty small. So we're going to put 30 weight in it. If it was a colder climate or slower machining, I think they said 20 weight. But either way, 30 weight's what we got. So that's what I'm going to put in there. I'll put that on the shelf. Oh, and speaking of the shelves, man, them things turned out great. I just don't have enough of them. So we might carry on the other 2, depending on how the jib crane is. We might move that over a little bit more, or continue it on. So I got, the manual says this thing holds 7 quarts. So I have 7 quarts of the other one, so we're going to find out. And it looks like, you know, based on what I took out of it, you know, it had a bunch of water in it before, but I believe that's going to be really, really close. But anyway, I went ahead and got 2 gallons of it. So we'll put that up here. And then that's for the headstock. And then for the whey oil. Everybody raves on this Mobile Vactra number 2 whey oil. So that's what we're going to use. And it's wrapped up too. And the lid's taped up on this also. So get that out of the way. So we're using the Mobile One Vactra oil number 2 for the whey oil. And while I was at it, I've had these for months though. I bought some a variety of goldenrod cans, you know, in different sizes. I've got some older cans around here, but I said, shoot, what the heck? Might as well get these while I can. So I ordered some of them, and I'm sure we'll label them and all that. So, you know, I got some of those too. Slowly but surely, we're getting everything in order. So, with that, I think we're going to go ahead and see if we can get some oil in this headstock. So, let me move some cameras. We'll use the action camera. Probably not going to use the camcorder. I still like the DSLR better. So, let me get everything moved around. I'll bring you back, and we'll see what this thing looks like. See you in a minute. All right. Hopefully we got it now. So, I got you in here a little closer. Let me get me some gloves on. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is take off this end tube right here. That should help me get the vacuum hooked to it a little better. I tell you what, the first thing I'm going to do is turn some air on in here. So I think that'll be the next purchase, major purchase. The more you work in here, the hotter, you know, it gets hot. So let me move some stuff here, and I'm going to turn on a furnace fan that mounted on the floor, or that I keep mounted, or it's just out of a furnace, so you can roll around the shop. It's not mounted anywhere. So anyway, it'll keep some air going, but you might hear a fan going. So anyway. All right. So let me get a wrench here. I'm going to take this fitting off here. Of course, it's had oil running through it all its life, so it shouldn't be tight. And we're going to take that, discard it. And what that one does, it just oils this bearing out here on the outer part of the spindle. So blow through it. Oh yeah, it's clear. So, and then I'm going to take off the bigger fitting here. Make sure not to drop it. So we got that there. Now, might as well pour the oil in there. I don't see any reason why not to. So, I got this little action cam set up too, so let's just pour the oil in there. The heck with it. So I'm going to pour this Tractor Supply brand in here first. And then, like I said, we're going to run it for a little while. Once I get everything going, but you know, might as well start closing it up now. Make sure all this stuff works before we get too much farther. Oiling system doesn't work, then not much of a lathe. So, or we'll have to go and do something else, plan B. So the man said it was running when they took it out, so I'm, you know, have to take the man for his word. So there we go. We'll let that drain for a second. Wipe up any of my mess. I got my pig mat in case I do make a spill pretty close. Alrighty, so what's next? Oh, and that did it perfect. They, you know, of course, I reckon the fill glass broke in the past, and they put a metal slug in it and just brazed it up or welded it up. And I might I'm either going to make a dipstick or something for where I have to see where that thing exactly falls out the fill lid. We might end up making a dipstick out of it, you know, so you could check it that way. Or we might drill and put a sight glass on the back here. I don't see if there's any way to, I don't really know if I want to go through the trouble of grinding all this out and taking it out. You know, not at this point. I think a dipstick or a tap it and put a sight glass in it. I mean like a sight tube, one of those in it. So anyway, let's go. Well, it hadn't drained enough. Let's let that drain some more. All right, so now what I planned on doing was hooking up my vacuum cleaner right here on the end because it fits pretty daggone good. And then I'm going to take and hand turn the end of it. Of course, you know, I took a lot of the lines loose and just blew through them, made sure everything was, you know, clear, free and clear. And it was, so I'm just going to take a screwdriver and we're going to Armstrong this thing at first. And then if that doesn't get it, we're going to hook the old vacuum cleaner to it and put a little suck on it. And if that doesn't prime it, then, you know, plan C, I reckon. So let's give this a whirl though. So I'll put my crescent wrench out here on the end. Which way does this sucker go? This way. And we're just going to Armstrong the thing. Now if it starts pumping, we'll groovy. If not, you know, we'll turn the vacuum cleaner on. So I don't know how fast this has got to go, but surely it's not that bad. So I love the way those teeth sound though. It is nothing. It's just, you know, I don't see nothing happening. Either that or I'm not going fast enough. So let me just turn the vacuum cleaner on. It's not going to hurt anything. Just going to be noisy. And as soon as I see, look at there. You see the oil already right there? Oh, there's oil dripping. So I think we got it primed. That didn't take long. I don't know if the vacuum cleaner worked or not. But either way, it's noisy. Oh yeah, it worked. Look at there. One more thing I got to clean out, my vacuum cleaner. That's all right. That worked good. All right. So now, get my Armstrong wrench on here. Oops. A little tighter. Oh yeah, look at there. All right, I'm happy with that. Let's put the that line back on the end. Man, oh man. I was kind of dreading this because I thought this was going to be a job, but that wasn't bad at all. So, we'll put these fittings back on it, put this the line for the bearing at the end, the spindle bearing, verify that all the holes are dripping, and we'll probably place the headstock cover on it. I went back and watched some of Keith Rucker's making or restoring the labels, and that reminded me I have to make a couple labels, so I don't exactly know how I'm going to do that yet. So I know I'm going to draw it up, so whoever, I'd like to have it machined out of brass and then powder coat it. I don't know if you've watched NYC CNC where they made the label for Ox Tools, Tom Lipton's K-O-meter, the repeatometer that they built. And I really like the way that turned out. I don't know, I'm not going to do red, of course, but you know, if you want to see how that stuff's done, I don't have a laser, but might be able to do something at work. So, all right, let's try this again. Oops, I need that wrench. One step closer. That's all, you know, baby steps, that's all we're doing. So let's give that a pump. I hope you can see this thing working. There's oil going down into the cap there, lubricating that. I don't think it's quite made it up to the ends though. Yeah, there it goes. It's dripping down here. Not dripping there though. Of course, I know I'm not spinning at 600 RPMs either. So it's dripping out all the holes that I can tell. Give it a little more oomph with my right hand. There we go. Now we're pumping. So it's pumping on all the gears, all the lines are dripping, all the holes are dripping, or running, I should say. I love this thing. And it's super quiet. The only thing you can really hear is the oil running through it. The gears are really, really quiet. I think we hit a home run with this lathe. Don't want to count my chickens, but geez, this is pretty nice. Look at that. Very, very happy. Very, very happy. Oh, I see one that might be plugged up. So let me grab my pick. This one right there. I don't know if there's a hole there. Yep. So I just run my pickup in it. Make sure there's nothing in there. And let's go around again. Whoop, there went the action camera. That's what they're there for, though. That one about took a spill. Back in place. All right. Not used to having two cameras set up, so. All right, let's go. Be a whole lot easier when the power gets turned on this thing. There we go. Now it's running good. All four of them. So I need to make sure that everything's getting lubricated. This one right here, I wonder if there's a hole there, because I don't see one. So let me dig around and see if I can find a hole. Yep, there's one right there. So over every set of gears, it's got a hole in this pipe. I thought I had them all, but we most definitely want it to, open it up if it has one. There we go. That's running good. I might just end up taking all that back off again and just double checking everything. Everything looks like it's going now, though. So, alrighty. And we'll definitely tell when we get some electricity hooked to it and check all the motor. So that's awesome. The way those teeth mesh together, awesome. Very happy. Very, very, very happy. So I think that's what we're going to do there. So let me move this little camera here. And I think I'm going to get a couple shots of this thing oiling closer so you can see what it looks like. And then we're going to put the headstock cover on it. No need to keep it like that. Figure out what bolts I want to reorder. And let's just try that. So let me reposition the cameras and we'll be back. All right. Well, that thing works awesome. So I'm very, very happy. I was kind of worried that, something in here might not work and all that, but man, it looks really good. Everything's worked great in there. So what's our next plans? Man, I got to get the jib crane done. I got to get stuff in the parts washer. We're getting there. We're almost there. Yeah, way closer than I thought we were. So as long as nothing's bad wrong in the apron or the gearbox, we're there. So I tell you what, let's put the headstock cover on. This is the oil fill plug. Piece of steel, just a steel plug. But, they left a hole in it, so I don't see any reason why we can't put a dipstick on there for now. And we just use it as a dipstick. So we'll do that. Let me grab the headstock cover. This thing's heavy as can be. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean out these threads though right quick while I'm here. Don't need anything falling in that doesn't. So Man. Now it's starting to look like something. Look like a lathe. And as long as there's nothing right there, and there is nothing right there, so we could just put a dipstick on there and just use it like an automotive dipstick. I kind of hate they welded up the back part in there. So, but it is what it is. There you go. So with that, I think we're going to call it quits for today. I need to do a little more organizing. I went to Lowe's and bought a whole bunch of those little plastic totes. So we're going to put a lot of stuff in totes that we need to, instead of having run around free, and just start filling up these shelves. Of course, these are about full, and I just haven't got my table cleaned off yet. So we'll keep on organizing. Got a little trick to show y'all with some labels on if you order parts and stuff like that, or with a little QR code that you can print out on them. That'll be later on, but I'll show you what I'm talking about, how I do it. So if I forget where I order something, I'll just make a little QR code with the address or the web address of the page that I ordered it from. And unless they change the page, we're good to go. Just take a picture of that with your phone, you're right to the order page. So I'll show you how I do that. I kind of stole that from Jay Pearson. So anyway, it works really good, so you know, I'll use it. So with that, I think I'm going to get out here and mow the yard. It's turned out to be a hot, humid weekend, or Saturday anyway, so we'll get that going. So I reckon that's it. Until next time, see ya.